I'd love for you guys to let me know, what mistakes have you made or you feel that you've made on your gray hair journey thus far? I'm going to let you know the top 6 for me. Hello, beautiful butterflies, and welcome to Naturally Graceful. If this is your first time, I'm Nina. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the mistakes that I have made on my gray hair journey, in hopes that if this is something that you found, or maybe even to avoid these same mistakes, as well as give you guys some tips and reminders that I think will help you not only on your gray hair journey, also if you're transitioning to natural. And the very first thing I want to do is give a disclaimer. When I am on here, guys, I am sharing my experience, what has worked for me, things that I hope can work for you. What I offer are suggestions, not rules. If something is working for you and you're good, then there's no need for you to change it. Also, if there's something that I've suggested and it doesn't work for you, don't feel bad. This platform is about sharing. And it's also about things that I learned. I am not a professional. I learned this is a collaborative effort. All of you guys share things that work for you, your product recommendations, things that have worked for me, and I hope that they can work for you also. The first one is comparisons. Comparisons, I think, is not the way to go when you're on a gray hair journey. How come my hair is not going to come out like this person's hair? Now, what's nice when we see one another on here is seeing someone who does have hair similar to us. We know we're not alone. It does give us some inspiration, but we don't want to say, oh, well, how come my hair can't come out like this person or that person? I'm going to explain why in just a second. Unrealistic expectations. We expect our hair to grow faster than it will grow. We expect our gray hair pattern maybe to come in, because you see someone else's gray hair pattern come in salt and pepper, you expect yours to, or white. There's so many surprises. You really have to surrender and be open to however your hair is going to come in. And I remember I first learned these lessons from going natural, which is why I think that was a great stepping stone for me when it came to gray hair. But even on my gray hair journey, I still made those mistakes on what I thought my gray hair was going to look like and be like. And then there's impatience. We're so impatient with our progress. And I'm going to give some tips on what we can do to deal with that. So there are the mindset mistakes that I made when it came to gray hair, as well as the practical mistakes. Not giving my hair enough moisture, because forgetting, I had to do a lot of research about why gray hair is different than my hair when it had more melanin and color in it. Detangling, and this is a lesson I am continuing to learn, especially from my last wash day, and not giving myself enough time. Now, I know there are some of you who are looking for a minimal routine, a simple routine, and you may look at my product videos and you may think, oh my goodness, that's too much. Again, a reminder, when I do those product suggestions, these are all the things that I have used. I don't use them all every single wash day. It doesn't mean that you have to use all of them. It's just a wealth of information, suggestions, and recommendations that can help you in deciding what you can use for your hair. So these factors we have to remember can affect how our hair behaves. Genetics. Okay, somebody's hair can grow faster than your hair. My sister and I are a perfect example. My sister's hair, I feel, grows way differently than my hair. As you guys could see with this puff that I have, like that's maybe like half of my sister's hair. There are vitamin deficiencies that could be affecting the dryness of your hair, how your hair is growing. I didn't realize that until I was pregnant, and after I had my son and I started having some breakage in the back of my hair, and going to the hairdresser, she was like, have you got your iron levels checked? And I was like, I never thought about that. And lo and behold, I did have low iron. I also had some thyroid issues. So we have to consider, beyond the products that we use and the routine that we have for our hair, these different factors that can affect results. And that leads to that mistake of having unrealistic expectations. So genetics, vitamin deficiencies, our hair can tell us a lot about our health. Medications, if you're on medications, your hair care habits, like I mentioned before, are you deep conditioning your hair? What kind of conditioner are you using? The products, I just have some notes down here too. Products can be a part of your hair care habits. Your hair could tell you whether it likes a product or doesn't like it. Tools that you're using could be affecting your hair. If you're using heat, if you're using a brush or a comb that maybe your hair doesn't like. Again, you're going to see some tips why we need to listen to our hair, listen to our scalp, and past damage. This is another one. You know, we relaxed our hair before, we colored our hair before. Maybe it might take some time before our hair recovers from all of that processing. I remember when I used to get my hair relaxed, when my mom used to do my hair before I went to a hairdresser, you know, she was like, your mom's doing the over-the-counter perm. She's like, you know, from the box. And she said she was over-processing my hair. My mom didn't know that. You know, she was doing the best she could. But there was the issue of over-processing, and that contributed to my hair being thin. So there's the relaxer. There's maybe traction alopecia from braids or weaves or wigs that can affect the loss, maybe on the sides. I know I had to deal with that when I first went gray and I got my hair cut low. You could see my scalp. And I remember it made me very self-conscious. And I meant to tell you guys or have a picture of a product that I did use when my hair was really low. It's called Topics. Let me know if you guys have heard of that in the comments. It's like hair fibers. Instead of actual like hair color, you would just kind of like spray it on there to kind of fill in the gaps. So past damage, color processing, you know, especially when I was using box dyes, I'd use them over and over again. I would color more than once in the same day if the color didn't come out. Let me know if you guys are guilty of that too. I know I'm not alone. So there are a lot of things that we've done to our hair that all of a sudden when we decide that we want to go gray, which is great, our hair doesn't forget. It's like, okay, well, you need to give me a minute to recover from all the stuff that happened before. And this is not the case for everybody. There's some people who go gray very smoothly, have no issues with their hair, no issues with texture or dryness. Again, I'm going to give you guys reminders of why you can't compare someone else's journey and their experience to what you have. Diet is another factor. You know, the things that we're eating, are we getting enough hydration? You know, with drinking enough water and things like that. It does play a factor. You know, we're so easy. Let me know if that's true for you guys. It's so easy for us to look at, this product isn't working. But are we taking care of our inner health? Because that also can be shown by our hair. And I forgot to put on here exercise. I love the Green Beauty channel because she had a video that talked about how exercise and circulating your blood is how you get the nutrients to certain parts of your body to get what you need. And our scalp is the area that our hair grows out of, and it needs that circulation. It needs those nutrients to get there. So exercise. And she also talks about the inversion method, basically putting your head upside down, how that helps with growth. With our hair. So there's a lot of practical things that we can do to be able to help how our hair behaves. Then there's porosity. Everybody's porosity is different. Many have asked me what mine is, and I honestly feel I have mixed porosity, especially because I have some darker areas. I have this like white area here. You can even see with my little twist out bang here, the difference of these twists and the difference of these twists right here. So porosity has a factor. Your gray hair pattern. Is your hair all white? Is your hair salt and pepper? Do you have patches? That can affect how your hair will behave compared to the way that it used to be. If you guys have questions, if you're liking what you're hearing, of course, like and subscribe. But if you have questions, please put them in the comments. Then there is the moisture protein balance that I did not realize. I was really good at moisture. Sometimes I over moisturized. I used to be guilty of deep conditioning overnight. with a shower cap, making my hair real mushy. And I realized from doing research that my hair, while it is protein sensitive, it does require some protein, especially if it's gray and it's more porous and needs some strength to it. So those are some things that I learned. And then stress. Have you guys ever experienced when you're stressing out and maybe, and isn't there a lot of stress going on today? I mean, that's an understatement. But stress, even I remember my mom, before she went natural and gray, she had a moment where she was having lots of breakage in her hair. So to see her hair the way that it is right now is awesome. And it's not to say my mom's life is stress-free, but stress can be a factor. So these are all things that I want you guys to remember whenever something is not working right with your hair journey. What one of these things can you look at to see that could be contributing to the results that you're having? I want to give you guys a graceful reminder. You can use the same product and do the same technique, and the results may not be the same. I learned that during my natural hair journey when I used to go on YouTube. YouTube is an amazing place to learn things, but it's also a place for you to compare and be like, I did the same thing she did. How come my hair doesn't come out the same? That's a reality that you need to remember, to have realistic expectations about what your results may be. What works for some does not work for all. What works for me may not work for you. And remember, these things are not rules. They're suggestions. When you go online, you look at me or anybody else, look at it as another tool in your toolbox that you can try. But the reason why the results vary, guys, is our hair is unique. Your hair is unique to you. Your genetics, your body makeup, the products you use, the way you do your hair, the thickness of your hair, the density of it. There's so many factors. It's not just cookie cutter. When I use this same product, I will get the same results. So again, all these reminders are to help you when it comes to having realistic expectations on your hair journey, whether you are relaxed, whether you're natural, whether you're gray, or even colored hair. This is true for everything. You ever go to a hairstylist and give them a picture of what you would like your hair to look like? I want my hair like this. And then they do it for you and you're like, this doesn't look like the picture. And I'm sure if anybody's a hairdresser, they can relate to that struggle of like, you do the best you can with what you have, which is your client's hair. So having realistic expectations can help the journey to be a bit smoother. Here's another truth as well as a reminder. It's trial and error. Lots of trial and error. When I went natural, it was trial and error. I don't encourage people to be product junkies and try everything that they see. But you have to try something with a grain of salt and say, okay, I'm going to try this because so-and-so said that this might work, but I'm going to let my hair let me know whether it likes it or not. Listen to what your hair and scalp tells you. Does it tell you, I don't like gel? Gel works for me. Doesn't work for my sister prefers creams and butters and things like that. My hair will tolerate it, but not that much. My hair loves gel. And she even told you guys on the interview with my mom that she also found gel to help my mom with her frizz that she had. So here's another reminder. If you're a part of the camp where what you're doing is working, don't feel like you have to change it because so-and-so said or I said. I saw this concept when I was watching a Green Beauty channel. She does so much to educate us about our hair and science. And she had said, look, I'm telling you about all these different things, but if you're using something that works, you don't have to add on all these things. So I don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed. Take what works for you, and let your hair and your scalp let you know if that is something that needs to be in your routine or not. Perfect example, pre-pooing works for me. If pre-pooing doesn't work for you, you don't see that that's a necessary step in your routine, that's fine. But for me, for sure, pre-pooing, detangling my hair with an oil or conditioner or my fave fenugreek detangler from Nature's Little Secret, that is necessary for me. And this last wash day, guys, proved to me that I need to make sure that I detangle my hair before I shampoo it, because the tangles are real. That's something that comes with having natural hair. So here's some tips that can help combat some of the mistakes, or I feel like they're normal. If you compare, you have unrealistic expectations. If you've done these things, there's no need, it's not about shaming. It's about, okay, this is not helping me. This is not helping the journey to be smoother. So what can I do instead? Or when those things come up, when I feel myself comparing and saying, oh, I want my hair like hers, I can appreciate rather than compare. Wow, I love how her hair looks. That's a mindful way of doing it without the judgment of her hair looks better than mine. My hair can't do that, so my hair is not pretty. Her gray hair pattern looks like that. Mine doesn't, so hers is prettier than mine. Let's appreciate on both sides. And I'm going to have a quote coming up next for you to keep in mind. Acceptance when it comes to unrealistic expectations, because guys, we can follow the rules, suggestions very with great care and still not get necessarily the results that we like. So we have to learn to make do with what we have and accept, right? And when I say focus on what is happening, especially if you're at the stage, many of you who've just started your gray hair journey and you're growing it out, focus on the fact that it's growing. Focus on, we mentioned other things that make you feel good. Jewelry, accessories, makeup, your clothing, different things that can make you feel good as opposed to the thing that's not going right. Because as they say, what we focus on grows, right? Here is a truth that I want you guys to remember. Let me know if you agree with that. The right way to go gray is the way that works for you. And that goes for really any kind of hair journey that you're on. So when I'm encouraging that, I'm not saying someone who colors their hair or who relaxes their hair doesn't love themselves. But for those of us who do want to make that transition and need the support and need the reminders, this is what you're here for. There's no one way for us to do certain things. Everybody is unique and different. So if you want to go gray and you decide, I can't deal with the grown gray, I want to just color all my hair gray, I want to go through the process of stripping the color, which is a labor intensive process. But if that's how you want to do it, then go for it. I don't want there to be divisions even within a supportive community at how somebody decides that they want to do what they want to do. This is my favorite. When I saw this quote on Pinterest, I was like, this kind of tops it off, and I'm going to be ending it here. Admire someone else's beauty without questioning your own. So I was saying that to you before. If you see someone else's hair, and I've had people tell me this before, and while I love the kind comments that you love my hair, I never want you seeing my hair to make you feel like yours is any less beautiful. Or a lot of people tell me, I hope mine comes in like yours. And maybe it will, and maybe it won't. But I don't want you to be feeling like if it doesn't, it's not beautiful. Everyone has their own unique beauty that they bring to the table. So please don't ever go on Pinterest, Instagram, social media, internet, wherever in real life and let someone else's beauty make you question your own. So I want you to embrace what will come in because it's yours. And I hope that you guys enjoyed my little slideshow. And of course, as I tell you guys each time, you can email me at nina@naturallygraceful.com for any questions that you have, any video requests. All right, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your week. And I look forward to connecting with you guys via email or the comments. Thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.